You are looking for a job, obviously. That's why you're here. Nobody has to tell you that finding a job in this economy is not easy. According to government statistics, there are 10 unemployed people for every job opening. Some people think that the ratio is even higher. That's not good odds for you. So let me guess. You've been crafting your resume until it's perfect. You submitted it to Monster and Career Builder, and who knows how many job sites for every job you might possibly be qualified for. And what do you have? Nothing. Not even a response. I hate to bring you the bad news, but that's the typical response to the resume shotgun approach. Oftentimes, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of resumes submitted for a single job opening. Sometimes there are so many that HR professionals don't even look at them. They filter them out with computer software, or worse, have some low-level minimum wage employee at the company go through the stack of resumes to filter them for them. Your resume never gets seen by a decision maker. Fact is that most jobs are not found that way. The U.S. Department of Labor Statistics states that 70% of jobs are found through networking, not answering online ads. Other studies have that number as high as 85%. Okay, you probably have heard that you should be networking. This is how most people network for a job. You send some emails to people you know and maybe post something on Facebook. You ask everyone you know, do you know anybody that's hiring? That fizzled out after a while too. You just don't seem to know enough people, and the people you do know just don't know about any job openings. That's because most of that 70% of jobs found that I mentioned earlier, those jobs are not even posted. That's right, the vast majority of actual real jobs that are filled are not even posted. And who can blame the people that need workers? If you needed to have a plumber or some sort of a service specialist at your house, what's the first thing you do? You ask your friends, do you know any good plumbers? You ask your network. It's the same for business owners and decision makers. When they need someone to fill a role or a job in their business, they ask their network. All of this sounds pretty dismal, but I do have some good news for you. But first I want to tell you a story about my friend Dave. Years ago, I used to work with Dave at a mid-sized corporation. In fact, Dave was my manager. We got along pretty well. Dave was a good guy and a great worker. He was the kind of guy that dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. I would say that one of his strengths is that he's a detail kind of guy. But as is the case many times, Dave was laid off through no fault of his own, like a lot of people were at that time. At that time, there were not a lot of openings in Dave's field, so he went to work to find a job. Dave discovered pretty early that the traditional method of answering ads and sending resumes was not going to work, so he started to network. This was not your typical networking. This was a detailed and research-based approach. Did I mention that Dave is a detailed kind of a guy? Well, long story short, Dave spent the next months networking and interviewing people. He actually had sit-down meetings with hundreds of people. Yes, you heard me correctly. He interviewed with hundreds of people. You're probably thinking, how is that possible? I can't even get anyone to acknowledge that I have applied for a job, and this guy is interviewing with hundreds of people. That's because when you talk to somebody, you're asking for a job. When Dave talks to someone, he is actually making an emotional connection and an exchange of information. But I'll talk about more of that later. Dave's hard work pays off. He gets a great job and things are looking pretty good. But a funny thing happened. People started to come to Dave asking for tips on networking for a job. Dave, being the nice guy he is, gave them advice. Eventually, Dave is talking in front of groups and helping more and more people learn how to do career networking the right way. In fact, that's where I met up with Dave again just recently. He was giving a presentation in a local church to a group of people that were looking for jobs. I arranged to have lunch with Dave to catch up and see how he was doing, and we got to talking about how his job networking system could help more people during these tough economic times. Dave really saw a need for this and wants to help as many people as he possibly can find a job by networking the right way. That's how Networking Plus was born. Dave put together all of his expertise that he has researched over the years and put it into a step-by-step program that anyone looking for a job can access immediately on their computer. Networking Plus will keep you from making common mistakes that most people make when they're networking for a job. Most people, when networking, are asking everyone they meet, "Do you know anyone that's hiring?" Or worse yet, "Do you have a job for me?" The problem with this approach is that you are putting people on the spot, asking them to give you something. And even if they have a job to offer, you are coming across as taking rather than exchanging. You've probably felt this way yourself when people come to you looking for job leads. It's not that you don't want to help, but you don't have any leads to give, and since you don't want to disappoint, you avoid the subject. With Networking Plus, you will never be putting people in that situation. Dave will show you how to talk to people in a specific way that appeals to their ego so that they are bending over backwards trying to help you. Ideas and referrals come to their minds easily, and it's crazy, but I have seen it work over and over again. People you have just met will actually be going out of their way to help you and give you referrals to meet with others in their network, all because of the way you frame the conversation. Sound complicated? Well, it isn't. Networking Plus has easy video modules to walk you through each step of the process. Dave has put together some brainstorming tips to get you started with your networking contact list. He shows you specific methods to contact people for face-to-face interviews. And most importantly, he will reveal the minefield to avoid in getting to decision makers. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. Dave will show you why it's important to get a face-to-face meeting and how to set them up so that it's convenient for your network circle. Then Dave gives you fill-in-the-blank scripts that you can customize for your specific needs that make it easy for your interviewer to help you. Dave has also included a network contact management system that will help you keep track of who you've spoken with and how to respond back with a thank you. Dave even shows you how to say thank you in a way that will keep you and your job search top of mind in your new network circle. Now I want to talk to you a moment about value. What is a job worth? Well, that's pretty easy. Just think of the paycheck you would be getting each week. If you're not working now, that paycheck is slipping away each week, each month, tens of thousands of dollars each year. It's not coming to you. Does it make sense that you should spend the equivalent of a couple of pizzas to start on your way to getting that paycheck? Networking Plus is not an expense, it's an investment. All in all, Networking Plus is an amazing value, and you can get started today by clicking the link under this video. If you are hesitating, I want to put your mind at ease. While Dave can't guarantee you will get a job, he will let you road test Networking Plus for 60 days. You have 60 days to expand your network, and if you are not making progress, then let Dave know and he will refund your money. You have the opportunity to find that perfect job using Networking Plus and no risk whatsoever on your part. So the choice is yours. You can continue sending resumes to internet ads, or you can get started on a better way to find your next job. Somebody has a job that is a right fit for you. Networking Plus, through a step-by-step approach, will help you make that connection. Click the link below and get started today.